Okay, time now for our monthly mayor chats to continue around the region. Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward on the couch with us this morning. Actually, you know what? Come tomorrow night, Annette and I are going to be hanging out with Marianne Meed Ward. We'll tell you why in a second. Let's start with the Greenbelt, though, because that's what everybody is talking about. Absolutely. You've been on the couch with us talking about the Greenbelt because you are one of the few that actually did get to sit down with the Premier and the former Housing Minister, Steve Clark.
Absolutely.
And so tell us, what's your take on the Greenbelt situation?
Well, in Burlington, we have had a very long-standing position of successive councils that we will never build in the Greenbelt. We won't expand our urban boundary. So when I met with the Premier and Minister Clark, I said, you know, that's the lay of the land in Burlington. Don't touch our Greenbelt. And of course, the Auditor General in their report said that just because of the process by which certain Greenbelt lands were removed, the lack of transparency around that, the lack of ethics around that, that should be reviewed. So I've endorsed that and said, yeah, the Auditor General's right. Review whether those lands should be taken out.
Okay. As far as housing goes in Burlington, where are we at with building homes and getting condos built?
Well, we have 38,000 units in our pipeline, but we actually just approved one in downtown Burlington. It's an 11-story on Brant Street. It's transitions down to towns next to an established neighborhood. It actually conforms to what we have said we want in our new official plan. And so it was one of those applications where the community said, yeah, we understand that we want to have this kind of development, and it's not a 30-story building, which is what we've been seeing downtown.
And you kind of, way back when, that you ran on, you didn't want to see those 30 stories. Is it difficult? Is it still difficult to, yes, you want housing, but to build those 30 stories to keep that the mandate?
Well, absolutely. We get overruled by the tribunal, unfortunately. We just were overruled by the tribunal on a 20-plus story building on the other side of Brant Street. Okay. So we really appreciate when developers actually look at our plan and respect that. The place for that kind of height and density, 30, 40-plus stories, is around our GO stations. And we can accommodate growth there without building into our Greenbelt, without wrecking established neighborhoods, without wrecking the downtown, which frankly doesn't have the infrastructure to support that level of density. So everything in its place. It's not no development. It's not even no high rises. It's making sure that we put it in its right place.
Robert Bateman High School redevelopment project.
Yes.
How are those meetings going?
Great, very exciting. So there was a survey. We were asking people actually what they want to see on the community space. There's about 40,000 square feet of community space available for groups to say, hey, I want to use it for this or I want to use it for that. That's the size of one of our entire community centers. That's the size of Tansley Woods. So it's like a community center in a community center, because that's after Brock University moves in, our library moves in, and several other uses. So
is there a vote going to happen, or how are we going to nail down what is actually going to happen with that space?
So we're consulting with the community right now. There's online opportunities. There's a public meeting at Tansley Woods in October 18th. There's an online virtual meeting October 19th. So there's multiple opportunities, including this Friday. Actually, we have our big Food for Feedback event. Come, get a free meal, give us your feedback on a whole range of things. I'll be there. Most of the councillors will be there, and it's another opportunity to give input on Bateman.
How are budget talks going?
Well, it's a new process this year.
Okay, so tell us why.
Under strong mayor powers, the mayor has to present a budget, and this cannot be delegated to staff. And so the staff initial preliminary budget look that we saw in July was 7.8% increase. I can tell you when I present the mayor's budget, it's not going to be that. It'll be our basics budget, and then I'll work with council to say, what do we want to add of what staff have recommended? What do we want to add to the budget? And then we will land as a council together on where we think it should be.
Well, you're back on the show next month to talk more about that. Let's talk about what's happening on Friday night, because Annette, myself, and Marianne Meed Ward, and so many other models are going to be walking the runway with Joseph Tassani, who is a fantastic local designer. He was on the show last month with Matt Carey, former hockey player as well. So we're going to be walking the carpet. It's going to be fun, all for a good cause, because all the proceeds are going back into Joseph Brand Hospital, as he's kind of designing one of these rooms in Joseph Brand's hospital for mental health. So
absolutely.
Are you working on your strut?
I have a good strut already. I've got a mayor's strut going on.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, you're going to be showing that strut on Friday night. So look forward to hanging with you there. Always look forward to our monthly chats. Marianne Meed Ward, Burlington Mayor.